The greatest show on earth is here, and Fan Central goes into extra time for 39 days right throughout FIFA's Showpiece tournament. With a Pepsi in hand, of course. Catch the playbook with a tactical breakdown from our expert coaches. Come sit in our fan corner where you have your say on the day's action. Fame or shame, who were the best or worst players of the day? And have a laugh as we share some of the best reactions on social media. After the final whistle, it's extra time. Fan Central Extra Time. 8 p.m. daily with 10 p.m. shows on select days where there are 8 p.m. match kickoffs.
Fan Central Extra Time is brought to you by the Pepsi Football Nation, where fans make the rules. Football, better with Pepsi.
Hey, what's up, one?
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan pa.
Watagwan. Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Datagwan pa. Watagwan.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Coming up in CVM News at 7, fresh calls by the opposition for Dr. Andrew Wheatley's resignation. Criminologist accepts concerns around a TCN deal but insists it's not as bad as it seems. Expert shares why many homes are without fathers, urges emotional support for them. In international news, in Gaza, Palestinians stage their own football tournament amid devastation. And later on in sports, Spain beats Saudi Arabia 4-0 at the World Cup. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Sunday, June 21, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks for joining us. Up first this evening, as fathers observe Father's Day, psychologist Dr. Leakim Samaj is urging greater recognition of the contributions and challenges faced by these fathers. Kevin Black has more.
Jamaica joins countries around the world in observing Father's Day, a time set aside to honor fathers and father figures for their contributions to family life. Psychologist Dr. Leakim Samaj says while gifts are appreciated, many fathers place greater value on love, affirmation, and quality time with their families.
The issues of, the tie and the cologne and those things, those are almost like trinkets. But spending time together, a day for daddy. The same thing you do for mommy, you can start with breakfast in bed, a special meal for me, the family gathering.
Dr. Samaja says many fathers silently carry emotional pressures while fulfilling their roles as providers.
But the whole notion that big man don't cry, you suck it up and you deal with it by yourself. A lot of men were not socialized with the emotional and the verbal skills to describe their feelings. So it takes some time for them to find a safe place, and worse yet, if you ever be vulnerable around someone and then they take it and use it against you, it never happens again.
He is also encouraging Jamaicans to use Father's Day as an opportunity to rebuild and strengthen relationships.
There are those who yearn to be but were never fortunate. And there are those who even lost their own fathers and never really properly resolved it. Because that people, they were carrying some hard feelings and so on, and then daddy died. And you never had a chance to have that last conversation. So one of the things that we could also use Father Day to do is to mend the fences.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Road safety expert and chief executive officer of Tamper Consulting, Canute Hare, is urging Jamaicans to move beyond behavioral campaigns and adopt a more holistic approach to road safety. Well, he says road design, vehicle standards, and human behavior must all be considered to effectively reduce road fatalities.
We need to institute operationalize the safe systems approach. That mechanism is a mechanism that seeks to treating the traffic environment as an ecosystem and to ensure that everyone who is using it, so you're looking at the human being, you're looking at the vehicle, you're looking at the environment, to ensure that it is safe. We need to institute operationalize the safe systems approach. That mechanism is a mechanism that seeks to treating the traffic environment as an ecosystem and to ensure that everyone who is using it, so you're looking at the human being, you're looking at the vehicle, you're looking at the environment, to ensure that it is safe.
Meanwhile, as the debate rages on about possible deals between Jamaica and the United States of America for third country nationals, at least one entrepreneur and criminologist is of the view the arrangement can work in Jamaica's favor. Here's how. Just over a week after news broke that Jamaica and North America has been having talks about accepting third country nationals, scores of Jamaicans at home and abroad took to the media venting their opposition and concerns. Some local groups in the U.S. have encouraged protest action there, but according to others sympathetic to the Jamaican government, it's a case of being between the devil and the deep blue sea. Dr. Jason Mackay is a criminologist, crime fighter, and businessman. His views on the matter veers from most of the critics bashing the government for even considering this move.
I don't think it's as big a deal as persons are making out. We have an option to choose who we are getting. And it's not like they're going to stay here in the majority of cases. It's operating at about 94% turnaround. What you need to avoid is taking massive amounts of one particular country or ethnic group that is culturally different, because then are bringing in an absolutely separate immigration group into the country. The other issue you have to be careful of is where they're going to stay, how you're going to police their safety as it relates to how they interact with each other.
Dr. Mackay says these deportees will also need to understand they can't simply roam about and do as they please, noting they too can come to harm. He also cited security implications should Jamaica fail to assist the U.S. on this arrangement.
You have to also think about, we are America's biggest trading partner in respect of they are our biggest trading partner, I should say. And, if they ask us to do something, and we don't do it, then favors they are granting us now, like selling us guns and ammunition that nobody else will sell us, they may not do. So it's not that they're forcing anybody to do it, but you want to give and take when you're in a bilateral agreement with persons and you have that type of relationship. I don't think it's that big a problem, as long as you're careful about not bringing in 5,000 of a particular person's 5,000 persons that would make up a particular group that would then end up being, like you end up likely to have criminal groups among them.
He reminds gangs such as the Triads and the M13s fall into such groups. He accepts there could be security risks, which can be reduced with keeping select nationals to a minimum, but reminds aside from not having proper documentation, many deportees do not have any other criminal history. He says this could also augur well for Jamaica's reducing population.
Have you ever thought what would be the consequence if the United States was to remove the visa restrictions and said anybody who comes can actually get work permits and be allowed to stay there without going through a process of seeking citizenship or residency status? So there are a lot of things to consider that you just can't say perhaps no, because there has to be some advantage to goodwill to actually doing something just because your partner, your neighbor, your ally needs the help.
The U.S. legal battle over the third country national or TCN deportation strategy is locked in a high-stakes standoff between federal district courts, which have declared the practice unlawful, and appellate courts, which have allowed the flights to temporarily continue pending a final decision. Meantime, the opposition is raising fresh concerns over governance and public safety amid talks of the third country national arrangement with North America and issues arising from the latest Integrity Commission report. The matters came to the fore on Saturday during a PNP divisional conference in Kingston. Kevin Black has more.
Opposition spokesperson on Justice and Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Northeastern, Zulika Jess, is pointing to recent findings from the Integrity Commission, which has recommended that Member of Parliament for St. Catharines South Central, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, be charged with illicit enrichment and other offences. The IC report alleges that Dr. Wheatley acquired assets totaling approximately $164 million, which it says were disproportionate to his lawful earnings between 2013 and 2022, and that he failed to provide a satisfactory explanation. Speaking at the Norman Gardens Divisional Conference at Rennock Lodge Primary and Junior High School on Saturday, Jez says the findings raise serious questions about accountability in public life and the integrity of public institutions.
Just the other day, we were in Parliament, only to see a report come. So one man under investigation because him have $164 million that nobody can account for. The Auditor General is saying that, not the Auditor General, the Integrity Commission is saying that it is outside the scope of his lawful income. It no make no sense based on how much he might earn. There's no way him could have that the kind of money there, but him have it. Chopper them there.
She is also calling on the government to address issues affecting non-functional courts in St. Elizabeth, saying the situation is impacting access to justice for residents and requiring urgent action to restore proper court operations in the parish.
The state of the court them mash up in a Western Jamaica. And we have a Minister of Justice who will go around and beat him chest and tap himself on the back and say, I'm the best Minister of Justice that Jamaica has ever seen. But yet we not a court in a Savlamar. The parish court mash up. We not a court in a Black River. It mash up. And yet them go around and boast that them are do all things great. But nobody on the ground can feel it. Nobody can benefit.
Meanwhile, MP caretaker for Central Kingston, retired SSP Steve McGregor, is warning that some deported nationals entering Jamaica under third country arrangements may pose a security risk, claiming that some individuals returning to the island have been linked to criminal activities overseas.
The Minister of National Security said that the people who them are deport and them are take a Jamaica, none of them are no criminal. Don't believe him. Most of those people who you see who are deported for immigration related thing, lesser crime, traffic issue, they are involved in drug runnings, racketeering, criminal activity, but they weren't charged for that. We need to send home this tired government. They are in government too long, they're tired. A lot of them have amassed so much money that they need to go and spend it.
Kevin Black for CVM News.
A Manchester family is mourning after a 27-year-old man died in a fire at his relative's house in Greenvale last Tuesday. The blaze destroyed the house and has left relatives searching for answers as investigations continue. With more, here's Giovanni Hamilton.
A Manchester family is in mourning after 27-year-old Leonardo Brown, otherwise called Joshua, died in a fire at his family home on Bethel Street in Greenvale on Tuesday night. Firefighters were called to the scene shortly after 11 p.m. However, by the time they arrived, the house was engulfed in flames. Grand aunt of the deceased, Pansita Hutchinson, says the family is heartbroken by his death. She also disclosed the house destroyed by the fire belonged to her 74-year-old brother who is blind.
Okay, my brother, Bertie Ricketts, he's the one live here, and his grandson died in the fire, and right now is currently living at one of my brother's house. We are one room, same way. So, any help we can get, we put back the house together because my brother is blind.
Meanwhile, another relative, Caroline Ricketts-Lewis, says the firefighters' response was affected by a damaged utility pole.
The pole down from burial, so the firefighter couldn't come this road. He has to go through that shortcut around there to put the hose to out the fire, while my blind uncle is inside and the person who taking care of him plus the person who perished in the fire. So we need justice for this light post. Nothing cannot pass it. Both of them are the guava tree hold it. So if the guava tree give way, you're going to hear say somebody else are going dead or people house are going to burn down.
She is now calling on the Jamaica Public Service to address the issue.
You reached out to JPS?
Several times, numerous times. Even my father go as far as to say, if I go dig a hole and get a truck pull it in, and they said no, they will send somebody, and everybody come and write a report, nobody come and fix it.
And what's your name?
Caroline Ricketts-Lewis.
All right.
We take a break. Stay with us.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Tune in to Lead Story. Weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
The great brightest show on earth is here, and Fan Central goes into extra time for 39 days right throughout FIFA's Showpiece tournament. With a Pepsi in hand, of course. Catch the playbook with a tactical breakdown from our expert coaches. Come sit in our fan corner where you have your say on the day's action. Fame or shame? Who are the best or worst players of the day? And have a laugh as we share some of the best reactions on social media. After the final whistle, it's extra time. Fan Central Extra Time. 8 p.m. daily with 10 p.m. shows on select days where there are 8 p.m. match kickoffs.
Fan Central Extra Time is brought to you by the Pepsi Football Nation, where fans make the rules. Football, better with Pepsi.
Hey, what I want? Hi, I am Candy Pang at
What a guan? What a guan?
That a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a guan! Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan, pa. What a guan?
Thanks so much for staying with us. Still in the news, National Commercial Bank is signaling strong confidence in Trelawney's economic future with a US $1 million investment in a new state-of-the-art branch in Falmouth. The facility, which replaces the bank's previous location, features modern banking technology, enhanced security, improved accessibility, and expanded customer service areas aimed at delivering a more efficient banking experience. During the opening ceremony, NCB Financial Group Chairman Michael Lee Chin was presented with the key to the town of Falmouth in recognition of his contribution to Jamaica's business landscape and the institution's continued investment in the parish. NCB says the new branch reflects the rapid growth of Trelawney and the town's increasing importance as a center for business, tourism, and residential development, while supporting the bank's broader modernization strategy across Western Jamaica. The 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference was underway in Montego Bay, St. James last week, bringing together members of the Jamaican diaspora, government officials, business leaders, academics, and civil society stakeholders from across the globe. While there have been much talk about investment and resilience at the 2026 staging of the conference so far, Jamaica's Consul General to the Southeast United States believes the Jamaican diaspora should play a greater role. Akeem Arit has more.
Following the October 28 Category 5 hurricane and recent seismic activity, Jamaica's Consul General to the Southeast United States, Mr. Oliver Mayer, believes the Jamaican diaspora should play a more direct role in disaster preparedness, recovery efforts, and climate adaptation initiatives.
I think the community, through Hurricane Beryl, had some practice with it. So out of adversity came a positive result in the sense that the community was able to respond quickly and work closely with the agencies on the ground. And I think everybody now is attuned to building back stronger. So lots of resilience projects have been coming forward from the community. Of course, those will be channeled, of course, through NARA.
There has since been a growing emphasis on engaging younger Jamaicans abroad. The Consul General identified youth involvement as a crucial component to the present and the future of the diaspora movement.
The emphasis, all the groups, the different groups in the diaspora community, we have been encouraging them to have young people as part of their leadership. We have a citizenship ceremony that we do at the consulate that we recognize newly minted Jamaicans, and a lot of them are primarily young persons.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness and opposition leader Mark Golding have since used the conference to articulate different visions for diaspora engagement. But according to Mr. Mayer, while members of the diaspora share concerns about key issues, the level of positivity has been growing.
Even though there may be concerns, I think persons are excited when they hear about the improvements in our homicide rate and the fact that rating agencies have all reaffirmed the positive direction of the country. So a lot of persons are excited about the possibilities of investing on the ground, ensuring that they can exchange their skill sets.
Praise aside, one of the recurring discussions at the conference is investment. Mr. Mayor believes there is a greater interest among Jamaicans overseas in investing towards renewable energy and other development projects on the island.
Both from Jamaicans and from foreigners, persons are interested in building smart cities, in climate resilient properties. People looking to invest in the stock market. They're looking to start businesses. A lot of people are actually looking to return home.
Akeem Oret, CVM News.
Meanwhile, we've come too far to turn back. That comment from National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang, who says Jamaica's historic decline in crime since 2025 is part of the government's push to make the island more attractive for members of the diaspora to return home. But his remarks come at a time of mounting concern that while crime is trending downward, fatal police shootings are moving in the opposite direction. Amoy Harriet has more. And we'll get that story.
Murders. After decades of stubbornly high homicide figures, the country ended 2025 with 673 murders. The first time in more than 30 years, the annual total fell below 700. This is a roughly 42% decline compared to 2024. Now, National Security Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang says those gains could mean more than just safer communities. Speaking at the 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference, he said the progress is helping to position Jamaica as a place members of the diaspora may feel more confident returning to.
It is a milestone worth celebrating, but one we must never take for granted, and I'm not going to hoist the flag of victory yet. We have a way to go. The next step is not only to reap the dividends of peace, but to ensure that what we achieve is sustainable.
And the minister says despite concerns from the public, he is confident it can be sustainable.
We have come too far to turn back. The task force is to protect these gains, build upon them, and ensure that the safer Jamaica we are beginning to experience become the Jamaica that future generation inherit. And in many ways, for those the older ones, Jamaica as you're used to when you're a child. We return to when the numbers in homicide was below 15 per 100,000. That's why today we are happy to have you and to ensure those of us who are here still, we can build a country that many of you can return in retirement in a state of good order and peace.
But the conversation around the decline in murders has increasingly been met with questions about the rise in police fatal shootings. As of June 16, 155 persons were killed by law enforcement since the start of the year, the majority of them during alleged confrontations with the police. The minister is rejecting concerns about improper police conduct, insisting members of the force are properly trained.
None of those officers have any interest in hurting Jamaican. They adopt the theme of the police force, protect and serve. We are proud of them, and I think every Jamaican anywhere can be proud of the quality of our police officers. The transformation is there. Yeah, there is always the question of people in authority abusing it, and we're not saying we're perfect, but we are among the best. And their interest and commitment is to protect Jamaica. Mistakes can be made.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
We now turn to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has defended the arrest of 2 individuals during the Labor Day procession on June 19th. TTT News has the latest.
According to the TTPS, the annual Labor Day procession organized by the trade union movement had received the required permit under the Summary Offences Act. Police say a social activist and a small group who were not part of the authorized procession attempted to join the march. The TTPS says officers informed the group that they were not covered under the existing permit and that a separate permit would be required for any additional public march. Police alleged that despite these warnings, the group continued to participate in what officers deemed an unauthorized procession. The TTPS says action was taken under provisions of the Summary Offences Act that allow police to order unlawful marches to disperse.
And on the international scene, in Gaza, Palestinians are staging their own football tournaments amid the devastation caused by Israel's war on the Strip. We hear more from Al Jazeera.
On a makeshift football field a world away from the FIFA World Cup, Palestinians in Khan Yunis are holding their own tournament. Here, no stadiums remain standing after Israel's war. There are no broadcast cameras and no VAR. Just a love for the beautiful game